amazing sections, especially filmed with master Danish cinematographer Jonas Hensen, but he's also an incredible park rider, and you get to see an example of it right now. 540 on the step down, all the way up with the topsoul, transfer, 360 on the big volcano. As you can see, he's got those big wheels, tall legs, and big 900 on the step down. You can always see the level is rising, 540 on the way up. We got 25 seconds. We're only halfway through, and you've always seen a lot of spins in this run. Really technical, Mr. Yule. With the soul grind is the first one we see using this part of the course, this huge wall ride. Transfer nice on the hip. Yeah, nice use of this corner ball. Another wall ride. He's been touching every part of the course. Finishes with this small mistake, but it's been a really good run, like filled with tricks, lots of spins, touching a bit of everything. That's already a few boxes. Those boxes we talked about to impress the judges. I believe he has checked quite a few of them.
Beautiful. Check out some of those highlights there. Huge spins over that spine onto that massive sub box.
Yeah, some big tricks, some big spins. Jakob can do it all, and you better believe he can shred street rails as well. 69.33. We currently have our leader on the rankings.
Next boy up, Josh Nielsen.
All the way from Australia. Let's see. Can we get this backflip, boy? Let's see. Starting on. Big flat spin Liu Kang. Wall ride all the way until the very last inch of this wall ride. Big flat 5.
Whoa.
No. Won't go this time. But as you might have noticed with the smile on this guy's face, this is not to phase him. And he's still going, still racing through the course, trying to get back to his starting point. We got 20 seconds. And big backflip on the step down. And another backflip. He doesn't need a resi for that one. That's it, 10 more seconds. Can we get a little bit more, Josh? No, that's it.
Hard luck going out. It's very difficult for a competitor to not get what they're looking at and recompose, still get a bit of their run out to get some score down with the judges.
Yeah, you need to be really consistent and to keep the flow really fluid all through the run. It's a gigantic course, so if you miss a little bit or lose a bit of the speed, it's really hard to reconnect with the rest of your line, and it's going to be hard to make the higher score. But as we might also remind you, it's the best of 2 runs that will bring the 12 top riders to the finals. So if you miss the first one, you still have a second chance to make it to the top. 45.66 for Josh. We look, oh, almost the best trick with the bottle flip. Yes, he's got it. Hopefully that's enough to send him to the finals. Let's see. But now we got another rider, and this one, although he is coming all the way from France, has been residing in China for the last 7 months, and is nothing short of a local celebrity. Huge 360, lots of amplitude, a lot of power, and lots of hope for this young rider. Lots of room for improvement over the years too. And look at how high he flies over the course. Big 360 on the volcano, really clean, landing on top of transition every time. Flat spin 3. And he's still going with a nice run through the cradle. 360 on the hip, and still flying really high. Backflip transfer onto the wall ride. We got 10 seconds left, and maybe just enough time for one last trick. And it's done. right, really interesting to see how he scores with this one. Oi.
Oh, David Jaco right there, putting in a pretty solid run.
Pretty solid run. Like, as you can see, he's been through the entire skate park. He's had lots of really high tricks. And this amplitude, I believe not that many people can match this.
No,
precision.
look at how high that was out of the flyout.
He goes high and he goes precise on the landings, so he's able to connect all the tricks. And as you can see on the screen now, he's still going. Lots of energy and power in those big legs too. So let's see how this scores. Is he gonna be able to beat Jakob? There's a 69.33 for first place. Nope, but close enough. He's now standing in second position with 67 points on his first run. But if he connects a couple more of these tricks that he kept for the end of his run, he might very well be able to get that top spot. Now moving on with Jelle Bregeman, representing Skateland Rotterdam, and this is all. The Dutchie has also a lot of power and starting tall 360, bit sketchy on the landing. So as you see, like instantly it costs you a little bit of speed, but he goes right back up with a salt grind on top of the wall, changing the course of his run. Big flat 5, and now on the way down, hitting transition with another huge hair. So maybe something a bit similar to what Jaco has been doing in the previous run, but a little less precision on the landing, so it kind of breaks the flow of the run. You can see he has to stop and try to get the speed again. So in the end, we see a lot less of a complete run. 3 seconds left, maybe a last trick with the Misty Flip. But that's unfortunately not landed. Huge Misty Flip on the fun box for the Flying Dutchman. There's lots of names you might not be familiar, and lots of names maybe you haven't seen on the series this year, Ryan. Like for instance, Jakob, I think it's his first trip to the World Series. Interesting choice to come straight to the finals, but I believe he has potential to impress you. I hope he'll put a smile on your face with a couple bangers. He's really specialized with those unexpected big tricks, big grinds. Jelle also has a lot of potential. It's an interesting start list, actually. Lots of surprises for the final, potentially. And Jelle gets 4th with this first run, 58.3. And we go back to the top of the list.
I actually heard quite a lot of Dutchies as we were at the hotel. I was trying to find my bag yesterday. I was at your hotel, I believe.
Yes.
And yeah, there's quite a lot of people out here from the Netherlands as well.
Yeah, it's like they came with a big crew. We got several riders for the local shop in Amsterdam. This is all. Shout out to Ivo. Also, we got lots of more experienced riders and some up-and-comers. Lots of developing talents in Holland, and that might be a sign of really healthy scenes. There have been skate lessons that have allowed the scene to renew itself and bring fresh new blood in it, and lots of hopes for a new generation. Jaro Frein is only 16 years old, I believe, and already standing really high on the rankings and could be a potential contender for the top 3 on this stop as well. And we got a couple more people also. They got the support crew. Thijs is also coming here to film a little bit. So I believe, yeah, and we have a judge, so why not? It's the Dutchies came in strong for this event. The Thai also, but it's unfortunately a little full at the end for Warjit. Is also one of the younger riders from Thailand. The scene has been developing really well, but look at this kick 5 on the fun box. Unfortunately, got a bit scared on the landing and had to bail, but that was a really nice move. You don't see it too often, but a little kick on the flat part of the fun box while he's spinning the 540 is one of those really, really nice tricks. Mr. Randy Spicer or Mr. Chris Farmer might be 2 names that come to mind. .37.16 on his second run. might be a bit short for the finals. But we'll see. We're moving on to Wei Chie Wong for his second run, currently standing with a score of 59.3. Let's see if he improves on his first run. Let's go!
Wei Chi, yeah, nice 540 there, flat.
Charging the course, as you can see, takes a lot of speed to even get up that wall ride. 360 on the fun box.
You know, a change with the course as well here from maybe you guys noticed in Montpellier, where we kind of had a littler wheel, which was a course shared with the inline and the scooter, and then the BMX course was the bigger one. So this is, however, shared with the BMX competitors, which means it's a bit harder for the inliners to pump and get the full speed necessary to clear some of these features.
But the positive aspect is that it will really bring the best riders on top of the rankings as well, since precision and flow are going to be two of the key elements to score really high with the judges. If you want to take advantage of such a course, speed and the control you have over your speed and tricks is going to be a key factor. And I think that's what's been interesting throughout this series. You know, we've had this gigantic ball course in Japan, then we moved on to a more technical course, as you mentioned, we shared with scooters in Montpellier, with a lot more grinding obstacles and lots of rails and technical transfers, and now we're moving back on with a really big course with huge transfers, gigantic transition, big wall rides. So in the end, I think our champion this year is going to be the most diverse, the most versatile skater on the whole tour. And I think it's great for the sport to see people that are able to skate different courses and have a really wide range of tricks and ways of putting it together on a skate park.
Yeah, well said. That is a nice reason to see out from Denmark.
The street skater Jakob Juhl, big 5. And we're talking about healthy scenes, but Denmark might be another really great example. If you look at Jakob, he's one of these OGs who's been killing it forever, who's really put the scene on the map with some really amazing sections. He's been on the pro team for REM so many years before he moved on to USD. But the most impressive, I think, nowadays is that he turned into a coach. He's a teacher and running this low academy, who's employing about 15 to 20 riders in Denmark. And I'm not talking just skaters, I'm talking skateboarders. He's had, actually one of his coaches is one of the best skateboarders in the world. He's had like scooters, bladers, skateboarders, BMXers, all sharing the love for action sports with a younger generation. And if you show up at the skate park in Copenhagen during the week, you'll see the moms and parents standing on the side of the course while there's like 4 or 5 different classes taking place at the same time. Amazing to see, really a sight to behold. And all thanks to this man and the big tricks that that helped bring him to the front of the scene. Big soul grind up there. Unfortunately, a bit sketch on the landing. You can see how tall those obstacles are. So it does not improve on his second run, but still standing with the 69.3 from his first and still standing on the first position so far. And now we're going down under for all the way from Scandinavia to Denmark, from Denmark to Australia and back. Josh was actually living in Copenhagen for a year, so there's a connection here. But he's cut his hair and it went back to Australia, and now practicing and working on the Happy Valley camps in China. So this guy's been everywhere with skating and bringing those flat spins and this big smile everywhere as well. Backflip transfer. Also an amazing street skater. His section in FWS Chapter 2 was actually one of the biggest surprises for me. I knew how good he was on the skate park, but it was good to be reminded of how crazy and technical he goes on street obstacles. And whoa, I was gonna mention street rails, but apparently this volcano box was too big for him to swallow on this one. Falling towards the end of this run is gonna be really hard to get back on top and still have time for one last trick, but he's still going. With, oh no, his all. You could see he was really going for it on this last one. But one thing that you cannot wipe off is this guy's smile. Still a smile for the crowd. And hopefully some energy for the party. That's our boy Josh Nielsen from Australia right there. But a bit disappointed, like a couple falls on this run. And as we mentioned, one single mistake can really cost you a lot. But he still scores a 59 on his second run. And that bumps him to the 4th position in the ranking so far. And moving on with another showman, Diako Diaby, all the way from France, living in China and dropping here for you guys in Chengdu. Huge 720 corkscrew, big 5 on transition. You can see how high.
Such clean landings.
You can see like he's landing all the way on top of the...
He catches so much transition like you're touching on, Freddie.
But as you mentioned, that's the secret. If you want to be able to use this gigantic BMX course, you have to be precise. You have to be able to catch every inch of the transition to keep the speed going, the flow nice and fluid. And he's been doing it really well so far. Went up the cradle, and now with 30 seconds left on the clock, going back down on the fun box with another big 360. Alley-oop top acid on top of the quarter pipe, and that will be it with
whoa, finishing it off strong if you would have got that, but it was after the buzzer.
Oh, maybe right on the buzzer. What would the NBA referee say? I'm not sure. Were they already up in the air? I don't know, but that won't count anyway. This big 900 on transition to finish things off. But look at this corkscrew 720. That was such a strong way to start a run.
Some beautiful highlights right there. An amazing run. We're going to have to wait and see. Was that before the buzzer or after the buzzer? Do you think that's good enough to rival first place?
Interesting question. I would... Depends on the judges' focus, but I would say yes. And indeed, the judges put him in first place with 71.66.
Hey, look at that. So we have a new leader. With Diaby on top there, 71.66, like you just said. Bumping Neal down to second place at 63.66.
Now we have Yellow, who also take the chance to try to clean up on his first run. He was able to touch down on a lot of obstacles, but nowhere as clean as he would have liked. And this fall on the second trick is going to cost him a lot as well. Damn, not a good way to start his second run. Now it's truly all in, all or nothing for Yellow Brigman with 23 seconds left on the clock. All the way to the top of the wall, and he lands it. Yes, we had seen no one touching the top of this obstacle yet. That's a really big ballsy move.
Wow, talk about height as well. Yellow getting a bit out of his comfort zone on that one.
I believe it's all tricks that he could have laced together. Unfortunately, this fall on the soul grind at the start of his run cost him like the consistency that the judges are expected to see. That's a bit unfortunate, but you can see the potential of this rider, like how much power. He was the first one to touch the top of this wall with this big stall, and you can see how dangerous that is. No room for mistake. Look at him go up. And if you don't catch the transition exactly where you're supposed to, this fall is going to cost you a lot. You could see it with Jakob also a couple of runs ago, falling on the landing. Amplitude doesn't go with that precision, and unfortunately he missed a bit of the precision at the start of his run. So we're going to stick with his first score, 58.3, landing in 5th position so far. And now we're going to see a bit of training, I believe.
As our heat number 2 gets ready to warm up, we take a look back to see some of the highlights.
So we saw a couple of falls, a lot of big tricks, different different options on the skate park. We saw a lot of different runs actually, so it's going to be interesting to see which are the riders that are able to use the park to its fullest. Jakob with the big soul grind on the vert wall and the flat spin double grab for Mr. Josh Nielsen and this backflip on the step down. But our strong man on this first heat was Mr. Diako Diaby. There's lots of big tricks, lots of amplitude. We saw him score the highest so far. It's been interesting, and we can see also people coming from a lot of different places. We had Thailand, Taiwan, Denmark, Australia, France, and the Netherlands represented in his first heat, bringing the world name into the FIS. Because from the very start, FIS it was meant to be the Festival International des Sports Extrêmes. The international aspect of it is really a huge component, and you can see it with this World Series finals being held in China. It's a far away from Montpellier, but we're really, really happy to be here. Do you have anything planned in Chengdu this year, Ryan? Are you going to take advantage of your visit? Your usual suspects now in the streets of the city.
Yeah, you know that I would love to go to none other than my favorite Chinese techno club.
I heard about this place. I've been...
But unfortunately, you're not going to be able to visit it. It was closed down again last week due to government problems.
Last week, so I believe we didn't book our tickets at the right time, just a little bit late on this one.
Unfortunately, they had a great lineup, but you will see me out there. I'm going to be checking out some spots tonight. We're going down into the city. Make sure that we get some good spicy soups and foods in our belly. But let's get back to the roller action. Heat number 2 on its way.
From Croatia, Tin Azio Merspike is one of the guys between the Pannonian Challenge taking place in Croatia every year, and they will be celebrating the 20th anniversary next year. So make sure to make your way to Croatia next summer if you can. And you can see he's also a really strong rider. You've seen spins, you've seen some head down flips, and and a little miss on the run up for this big wall ride. That's a really ballsy move. And he falls on the second wall ride. Not lucky with the wall rides with this run. I guess he'll save his energy for the second one.
Oh, that's an upset to come all the way out here to China and have a mess up like that. But that's why you have 2 runs. So he's going to be able to pull it back together. See if he can get that composure.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the best of 2 runs count. So he still got all his chances to make it to the finals, but definitely something went wrong on the run-up, and you have to get so much speed to hit this big wall ride that you have no room for mistake, and apparently there's a little something, a grain of sand, that's got in there in the mechanics.
Too bad. That's some hard luck for Tin right there. We're going to be moving forward to our next competitor from Japan, I believe.
Hayoi Iwama. I'm not familiar with the name, but I saw him a little bit on in the trainings yesterday, and I was super impressed, blown away by the style from this guy.
The thing I really love about the Japanese sports enthusiasm is that they just come out oozing with this creativity and style in their riding.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the water or in the food, but Japan since the very still standing on his feet.
Not even a hand down. That was some upper leg strength if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, he's got the smoothness, he's got the style, and he's got the strength. So coming out of Japan, this guy, and I don't even think we saw him skate in Hiroshima, which was actually our first stop of the year in Japan. So that's a big surprise to see him here. But same as the Dutchies came in strong in Chengdu. Awa, the Japanese came in strong, and fortunately after this fall, they also have their own personal team manager, and this guy has saved a couple of our friends already. AJ with his injured ankle, or Kaspars with his cut off knee. They have their personal medic hanging out
Really?
with him. Yeah, so a big shout out to this guy. And
Japanese know
a
how to do
huge,
it properly.
huge thank you, yes. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
And look at
Not
this.
even a hand down. That was incredible.
So we could almost count it as a 720 set slide, a really innovative move if there's one.
And unfortunately, last trick right there, not quite getting the full rotation.
But still really impressive. Like, he has the style, he has the amplitude. So let's hope it works a bit better on the second run, because it could definitely make it to the finals if he cleans it up a little bit. Really impressed, but I can't say surprised, because as you mentioned as well, Japan, for every sport you look at, BMX flatland or skateboarding or inline, Japan has always produced like a myriad of talent throughout the year. Through the past 2 or 3 decades, you've seen some of the very best riders in every sport come out of Japan. And this one, we go back to the Dutch crews, Jarofrein, the young talent, the young hopes for. Wow, and he starts off strong with this 900. No? Yes, it was a 9 on the step down. A really solid way to start.
That's a big 900, and that's a huge fall. If you don't see, the landing is double the size of the kicker right there.
It's definitely a leap of faith, but in the end, if you're spinning 2.5 rotation in the air, you don't have any time to look where you're going anywhere. You just have to know the tricks, and he obviously has a lot of skills, this young kid. Look at the speed he still has after 30 seconds, 35 seconds racing through the course.
Oh, whoa. Just missing the wall there.
And this one we haven't seen yet, but using the wall ride to go from transition to transition, avoiding the hip. It's a really tricky one. It requires lots of speed, and you have to place your feet exactly where it needs to be on the wall ride. It's a really ballsy move.
Wow, such a strong trick to come out of the gate with such precision.
And you can see big spins, lots of speed, and finally switch back to forward after this one. If you go so fast, the transition are coming up fast, so you gotta be really sure and confident on your first trick, on the second one, and every single one after that.
Jarofrein right there, and from the Netherlands, waiting for his score to come in. It's going to be a 60 even with some of the improvements on a few of those mess ups that we saw in run 1. He should be able to have what it takes to get up into one of those top 3 spots. We'll have to wait and see.
Most definitely. He missed a big wall ride at this big crash, so that definitely cost him a lot of points. But with the potential, with what we've seen in the first run, there's no way this guy doesn't clean it up on the second run. But now moving on with the Thai legend, the brother Notes, with a huge sideways 360. Big transfer over the transition there, using it as a wall ride, taking up the speed, using the course sideways, going all over, representing USD and BHC wheels all the way from Thailand, Mr. Wapush Bunim. 20 seconds left, and he now is back, a little fresh breathe, little air, and back down with this big flat spin 360. He's got those on lock. Back from the cradle, back on top. 3 seconds to go. Transfer topsoil, and that's it for Note. 5. You can see how exhausted he is. That's a huge transitions, huge obstacles, going all the way till the end of those 50 seconds with lots of tricks all around. Backs at UFO all the way on top of this big wall. That was a lot of diversity, lots of flips, big grinds, different use of the course as well, standing on his feet all through those 50 seconds. What did you think? Did the flow, did the style impress you? Do you think the judges are gonna rank him?
Well, they are at 66.66, third place.
The number of the beast for Wapush.
Wow, but a legend right there on screen.
Mr. Jerasak Tasorn, brother Jum, all the way from Thailand as well. 37 years old, and one of the strongest riders you will ever see. He's almost smiling. Don't believe the looks though. Dressed all black, no smile, but he's one of the kindest spirits you will ever meet. And wow! That was a huge 900 to start things off. 540 transfer. Getting in there in the cradle with lots of speed. Getting back on top of the volcano and preparing for the next trick. Rocking those Zem skates and those fresh new Blading Club wheels. Soul grind on top of the wall. Flying on the hip. Using this corner ball. 360 on the hip as well. 540 the other way around. Like where? How is he supposed to spin? I'm not even sure what's his natural and switch spin.
As hand plant on that spine to finish off for last looks. Jarasak.
And that's it. Another strong performance from this guy all the way till the end of the run with tricks all throughout. Good use of the course. He went also all the way to grind at the top of the vert wall. Only a handful of riders have been able to do that today, let alone do it consistently after such a big 900. Look at this one, the soul grind. And I believe this is switch. Hard to tell with jump. I believe he can spin both ways pretty consistently as well. That's part of the small technical details that the judges will have to pay attention to. That's the unseen details that really make the difference between good and great. Waiting for the scores, representing Black Limited all the way from Bangkok, Thailand. My favorite gardener, brother Jarasak. And now we have Yuto Goto standing in front while we wait for the scores. Yuto is another one of those Japanese wonders. He is Soichiro Kanashima's prodigy, and you better believe he's got a lot of...
Jarasak's score coming right in there. Third place, it's good enough, 67.33.
All right, third position. So moving on to Japanese prodigy representing CDS, not the brand you might recall, but the Chimera brand straight out of Japan with this dark side top one to start things off. Transfer, whoa!
Look, oh,
no way!
Style on that, no way!
Look at the style though, even with this fall, he's still smiling. And boom, 720, still standing on his feet. Top acid on top of the quarter pipe there. Going on a step up with this Royale to dark side true top acid, Allen Fish. You can see he's using his legs to the fullest with lots of technical moves, lots of grinds, quick feet, and big spins as well. This hand flip 540, another proof of the versatility of this skater. Zero spin on the quarter pipe. 5 seconds to go. With the backside Royale all the way. Woo! To set slide down. They put the hand down a little bit, but that was such a solid way to finish his run. Damn, that was impressive. I liked it, Ryan. What do you think?
I love the style out of there. I was a bit upset that he mixed up at the start. I think that just throws a competitor's train of thought right off. Let's take a look right here where it went wrong.
The alley back far after soul.
Right as he switched into that soul, it was so fluid and flawless. I love that.
Flawless might be a good way to describe his riding. He is
hung
really
up right there on the coping ledge. You see that as a coping change of pipe?
I see it, but a little talk with Pascal Moras, who's one of our judges today, but also the man responsible for designing and building this course and most of the courses on the FIS World Series. We have a few improvements to look out for next year. We'll have better cuppings. So for blading, it will make a huge difference. Makes the grinding surface smoother and even all the way throughout. And you can expect Yuto to have the most perfect backstory rail next year as if he doesn't already today. And we're back on top of the list with Tin Azumer Spike from Croatia. The Misty Flip 5 to start things off. And the front flip getting up on the platform. Stopping up there for a second, posing before he throws his Bio 5 on the step down. Unfortunately, breaks the momentum by stopping on his platform. Kind of looking for the next trick. I do believe the miss on the first run on this wall ride kind of changed his plans for his line, and he messes up on the wall ride on the second run yet again. Unfortunately, that will cost him a lot of points.
4, 3, 2. Going for one last trick.
Whoa, fakey 900 on transition. You don't see that one really often. He's juiced about it. I'm juiced too. Might not be enough to bump him on top of the rankings. Unfortunately, this big fall on the wall ride will cost him a lot, but it's nice to see him go all the way till the end and still throw the best tricks, the unexpected fakey 9 to finish things off. This guy.
Ice cold, ice cold. I'll tell you.
It's the looks, don't believe the looks. Okay, maybe believe the looks. Like he trained in Muay Thai, and most of his fights he's won with KO, technical KO. So you might not want to mess with this guy, but I swear is really, really nice. And if you ever go to Bangkok and if you're looking forward to skate the best spots in town and have the best sessions, this is the one you want to talk to. He will show you the best spots and he will show you the best trick because he's got it all on lock. So Tin is waiting for his score. What is it gonna be? Might remind you all watching this, all 5 of you watching this, we got 12 of the best riders today. We'll move on to the finals on Sunday. So even if you mess up a little bit, you might have a chance to make it to those 12 names and change everything up on Sunday with the perfect run. 56.6, he improves, now ranking in 10th position. So as we now stand, he still has a chance to make it to the finals. 10th position, that might be enough, but let's see. We're now going to this young unknown face from Japan. Big 5, oh, unfortunately catches the cupping on the way down, but you can see the amplitude. Cost him a bit of speed there. Disaster back UFO to line up with a nice 3 on the big fun box. Unfortunately misses and catches a bit of the landing there. As we have said a couple times already, you can see like the single mistake on this type of course will cost you a lot of speed. Oh, the big Misty Flip doesn't go. That's two big mistakes on this front box. It wasn't his lucky obstacle on this second run, unfortunately. 2 falls, 3 falls that now will cost him most likely his best run.
That's unfortunate for Yuama from Japan.
Let's see if his first run is enough to keep him in the race. Yeah, not so surprisingly, 42.3 on his second run. So we'll stick to the 52 he got with the first one, standing in 11th position so far. But has the young Dutch rider, Jago Frein, 16 years old if I'm not mistaken, is currently ranked 7th place, is dropping in with this big 9 on the step down.
Butters that one again.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have any trouble with the big spins, big speed, still racing through the park. 360 transfer onto the landing of the fun box, alley-oop wall, still going fast as hell, using the corner ball to maintain the speed. Big Misty Flip transfer.
Wow, really solid landings as well from the young Dutchman.
Yeah, you can see he's able to catch most of the transition and maintain the speed throughout his run, which is going to be the secret. That's, whoa, and he laces it.
This time into another wall ride on that sub-box feature. Yaro Getting that flip to fakie as well.
All the way till the end. And I told you on the first run, this wall ride is going to be the difference. If he makes it on the second one, he is going straight to the finals. And I believe he is with this run. That was really, really solid.
That was great performance out there from Frein.
Yes, Yellow.
Definitely doing it justice. Yella giving him props right there. Check out that 900 right out of the gate on that spine. Perfect execution on the landing.
Same here with the Misty flip, keeping all the speed,
and
keeping
then here's
the fakie.
The first wall, slips off at the bottom foot, but still holds it, gets that wall solid again into the sub box.
Yep, that was a nice line. Did you see Dennis and Arson did it on the BMX this afternoon? That was
I haven't seen that. I have not seen that yet.
Linking up those two wall rides like Yaro.
I haven't been able to watch any BMX yet, so you make me excited. I love watching Anderson ride. If you guys want to stay tuned for that, we have some big action coming up your way tomorrow. But look at it, scores coming in. Second place for Jaro Frein from the Netherlands. 70-point even.
70 perfect round number to bump him into second place, and he's guaranteed a place in the finals now, so we're looking forward to see what he brings to the table on Sunday. But going back to Thailand first with Warposh Bunim, the man with the smile, big sideways 3, and I love the smoothness. Alley-oop air to catch the speed, transferring, breaking the course of his run, changing lines. Again, the element of surprise might be one of the most underappreciated feature of one's run, but I think being able to change it up, to do your line a bit different than your opponents, or change it up between first and second run, is one of the key elements to really impress the judges.
That's so true, and that's so much about what I love watching of these park course runs. That you wow, somehow still holding on to that. But like I was trying to finish with my sentence, it's so amazing to be able to watch all these runs link up so well. You can still get fluid and momentum, but like you said, adding complete different elements of surprise to your run.
I think that's one of the ways you keep it exciting. You keep it exciting for you first and foremost as a rider. Change it up, test yourself, and really express yourself and your creativity, but it's also a key feature to score high with the judges, and most importantly, maybe on such a big event with a huge crowd as here in Chengdu, you want to impress the crowd, you want to get the crowd going, you want to get people crazy, and being able to surprise them might be the best way. Coming up next, Mr.
Mai Tai Yarasak to Soren.
The Tiger. Let's see, John is ready. Believe me, this guy's always ready. If he got his skates on, he's 100%. Boom, 900. Blindside, top acid. 5 on the transition, using the cradle to regain some of the speed. Flying over the volcano, still going strong. You can see he's racing through the course, using the platform to line up with this 360 down towards the fun box. Alley wall 360 out. Unfortunately, he misses the landing on his fakie. Got a bit lost in transition right there. But we got 12, 11, 10 seconds left for jump. So we're gonna see a couple more tricks, I believe. He's not one to be phased by this. Switch, 450 transfer on the hip. And that's it. Thank you, John. Kapun kap, brother John. It was a solid second run. Will he be able to improve on his first score? Let's see what the judges have to say about this. But looking at those highlights, this 360 sideways transfer to heat up the transition on the way down from the step down, sideways onto the fun box. That's one of the surprises that he has in store. Really solid, the newer member of the team for the Blade Club. Get to know him. Jursak is one of the most talented bladers on the planet for the past 20 years. So if you don't know the man, look into him. Yuto Goto, next one, currently ranked 6th with this big fall in the first one, but perfect run otherwise. So let's see if he can connect it all. And that's it, the alley-oop backside far with the little shifty out, and he got it this time. Whoa, little miss with the alley-oop mystery on top of the wall, 360 on the fun box, top acid on top of the quarter pipe. He's still going, and as you can see, he's going strong. Connecting both sides of the volcano with this dark side true top acid. High five, he's still flying. 30 seconds in, still going really strong. Hand flip, 360, and he posed there almost for a second. If we're talking about surprises, this guy is full of surprises. Big back rail, no hand down this time. Big improvement on his first run. Hell yes. Big smile on this guy's face. He should be happy. I'm happy to see him shred that hard. One of the unexpected riders. He showed up in Hiroshima and finally didn't make it with Takeshi all the way to Montpellier, but he's back with this amazing run to make it to the finals here in Chengdu, and I hope we get to see him shine as hard as he's been shining today on Sunday's finals. Look at this, he's like, he just kept it. He held it for a second just up there looking at the crowd saying, yes, I am flawless. And while he's competing here in China this weekend, his mentor, the street legend, the Valo team rider, and now Them Goods representant, Soichiro Kanashima, will be at Blade Cup all the way in Santa Ana, California. So if you've been following the updates on BMAG, we've been covering both events this weekend, so make sure to tune in. We got our team on location in Santa Ana, Ryan Lowy and John Labez, to bring you the best coverage from Blading Cup this year. And here posted in China, you got Kaspar Aksnes all the way from Latvia to bring you the best pictures, best videos, and myself, Freddie White, to cover the event on bmag.com. So make sure to tune in and follow all the Insta stories, all the updates, and our main reports coming up in the next couple of days. Stay tuned with all the action here. And don't forget to watch the live stream on our page as I am speaking these words.
So as we're just waiting right there.
Yes, final heat is coming up, and we've got the very best riders, and 73 points.
You have a new leader from Japan. Yuto taking over the top after heat number 2 has just finished there. An amazing whirlwind of activity going on. Let's take a look back at the recap of the roller from the FIS World Series 2018.
Bring it on.
So some amazing action has happened so far, starting things off in Hiroshima, Japan. The first time ever we visited the beautiful country of Japan. Had such an amazing time out there.
It was an absolutely wonderful event. The crowd was massive for this first event there. And we got some of the best Japanese riders to represent, such as Takeshi Yasutoko, you see flying here. But the man who took the prize, the newest Roches Pro, Mr. Joe Atkinson, who demonstrated like how flawless he truly is on this kind of course. Big smile and a gigantic top 3 here with Julien Kudo in the 3rd position after Takeshi and Joe.
Then moving over to France, where it all started 22 years ago, Montpellier to be specific, as they're on a new course completely over the water right there. We saw some beautiful highlights.
We had Sam Croft coming strong with a 2nd place, and Nicolas Sevi, the French powerhouse, who actually took the win after Julien Kudo and Romain Abrat unfortunately missed both of their runs. This double backflip, look at the amplitude. So Nicolas unfortunately wasn't part of the team in Hiroshima, but is now a strong contender for the contest here in Chengdu.
So some amazing action you saw there. Those were the highlights so far of our first 2 contests that we had on the World Series for the roller. Now we're going to get down to the 3rd and final heat out here today. It's going to be none other than featuring some of the top roller athletes, and there is the first rider who you're going to see drop. It's going to be Julien Kudo Anthony Avella, Nicolas Servi, Maxime Genot, Sam Croft, and Joe Atkinson. We're doing a reverse seating order. Of course, Julien Coudeau is going to drop first. That is your 6-man qualified here in the semifinals. Julien Coudeau ready to drop right there.
What does he have for us? Huge flat spin 3 transfer. And whoa, the man is flying. Going back up, fakie 3. 0 spin, top horn. And dropping down full speed, hitting the top of the wall with the top acid. Julien is one of the best riders to come up in the last decade. Huge backside UFO on top of the wall, representing trigger skates all the way from Paris. One of the finest riders, really. He hit the scene when he was barely a teenager, 14 years old, I believe, the first time he competed in the Winter Clash. And everybody kept a strong image of this first showing since he defeated one of the best riders in the world at the time, Mr. Brian Aragon. Whoa, bio 540, hand flip 540 on the transition there for Julien. A little mistake in the middle of his run, but that's already showing how many tricks the guy has in store for us today. You better believe he's gonna do everything he needs to make it to the finals this Sunday. Have a little break, maybe tomorrow we have the best trick on the street course, and we might heat up a few street spots too. We're gonna be trying to bring you some quality street pictures also from Julien. He can do it all. He can fly on transition just like I can hit massive down rails. So let's see it. Nice replay on his first one. You can see how many tricks the guy has laced in just 50 seconds, finishing things off with this hand flip 540. Score to beat to make it to the first position. Yuto Goto with 73 points. Let's see how the judges feel about Julien's first run. But I have a feeling he's gonna be high up on the scores. Ranking second position right away. Julien with a 72.3 score. It's really solid. And at this point he's almost he's guaranteed to make it to the finals. Now we're moving up with Anthony Avella. Anthony has been part of the series the whole year, including the starting event, the launch event we had in Jeddah earlier as well. He's been everywhere, competing really hard. He's one of the oldest guy on the course, if not the oldest guy on the course, along with Jursak. But see how much power he has still. Still racing and still going on with the nice tricks. Oh no! Fast up 540, unfortunately he stumbles on the landing. Still smiling. Let's see Anthony, 25 seconds to go and he's still up there. Drop down on the fun box. Big wall ride, using the hip to gain some speed. Corner ball to hit up the hip. Nope. He's racing for the cradle. High up the cradle. Fakie, we got 4 seconds to go, half cap topsail stall, and that will be it for Anthony. Unfortunately, he fell in the first third of his run with this fast tap 540 on the step up. He looks fine though, and as you can see, he's got the physical condition to keep on going no matter what. Nothing will stop this man, and as you can imagine, if he's here competing today, it's not to just be there. He wants to be on top. He's one of the longest competing athletes in France. He's been to the X Games, Gravity Games, every contest, you name it. Anthony Avella with his first run came in strong. Couple mistakes, but he has a second run to clean it up. So let's see how he ranks on this first one.
All right, let's get a look at the big screen over here.
Looking at the scores, what do the judges say? Final heat, the stakes are high. Everybody wants to make it to the finals this Sunday. 63.3, so is tying with Mr. Wang we saw in the first heat. Still a safe position, and he definitely has room to improve on the second run. But now we move on to one of the youngest riders of this semi-finals. Mr. Nicolas Servier, all the way from Dijon, representing Rolige, and the Razor skate brand, Alcatraz, and Famous Wheels, racing through the course. Big 450 back rail on top of the wall. Misty 720 on the fun box. He brings out the fire in this. Whoa, no way. Okay, if we're talking about the element of surprise, this guy already managed to surprise me 2 or 3 times in his run. Yes, another surprise, a little treat, stalling the fence right here. Rodeo 5 on the wall, hitting up the cradle. Still lots of speed, 7 seconds to go. That was full of bangers and backflip. Yeah, we don't call him a powerhouse for nothing. Look how much power he holds within those tiny legs, this tiny frame. He is full of energy as a person and as a rider, and he's got the surprises. So if we're talking excitement, like, this guy definitely is one to bring the crowd on fire, set the crowd on fire. You can see here with his gigantic 7 cork, his big 5. He's got it all. He's got the technical grind, he's got the big flips, and he's got the hunger trying to get that first place again. He's currently the last winner of the series since he was our champion in Montpellier. So let's see, 71.5. He should be safe indeed. And now we're moving on to Switzerland's very own Maxime Genoux, photographer, rollerblader, and professional lover. Disaster back UFO to mute grab, going down to hit that fun box. Great speed, and look how high he flies here. Nice transfer. Yo, no way. That was another surprise, another banger. Unfortunately, he caught a bit of the transition next to the quarter pipe on the way down. 540 far transfer. That was huge. Fakey 3, Philip 66 on the step down. 3 seconds to go. One last trick maybe. That's it. That was such an unfortunate fall. That was a really solid run. He was flying like no one else, using this corner ball like no one's used it before, really flying onto the vert wall afterwards. Yeah, you can see this guy's got the speed, he's got the amplitude, and he's precise as well. Keep maintaining the speed throughout his entire run. Multiple grabs, keeping it clean. Yes.
All right, we got our scores coming in. Let's see what we're at with the next after the first run.
I mean, you know what they say about Swiss precision. If he doesn't get it right the first time, you can be sure he will get it perfect on the second run. Maxime, rollerblade team rider, is known for this clean style, so we can expect a second perfect run.
All right, coming up next, we're other than Netherlands,
representing Adapt in the Netherlands. This guy has all the power in the world in his leg. But he's got the amplitude. He's riding flat, so I guess he's able to really keep that flow. He's got the power and he's got the technical tools to make it. Unfortunately, he misses here on the alley-oop top horn, but keeps on going. Fakey 7 on the transition. A nice little move on the way down. Still going, hits the cradle, 15 seconds to go. Using the corner ball, still going the speed. Maybe a little lost on the line. Fakey 5, stumbles on the landing, but still stays on his legs. That's the end of his first run. That was strong, but a few mistakes here and there. And as you might remember, his runs in Montpellier is really one to strive for perfection as well. But let's see these replays, this big flat 3, and going on the way down with this nice little move here. Fakey 5 in transition. That was the end of his run, losing a bit of the momentum, losing a bit of the speed. That might cost him a few points, but let's see how he ranks while we wait for the judges' scores.
Sam Croft right there, second in the overall rankings of the FIS World Series, the second to drop.
Yeah, right now he has a lot at stake since he's currently sitting in second position of the whole series. And he has a really strong contender in first place, being Mr. Joe Atkinson. So he has to perform at his absolute best if he wants a chance to take down the Yorkshire pudding.
But not to let the Japanese out of the leaderboard right now. Yuto Guto is still in first place to 73 even. Julien Cadeau sitting in second place there with his first run. Sam Croft gets his scores coming in right now at 65 even. It's going to be good enough for 9th place. He knows that he has a lot to clean up with.
Yeah, we had quite a few surprises on the first run, as you can see. Anthony Avila, Maxime Genoux, and Sam Croft. All the three of them have kind of had a few hiccups on their first run, so we really hope they clean it up on the second one. And look at this beautiful, beautiful boy right there, this lovely white shirt and this big 360. Look how fast he goes. This big cradle flip and huge transfer. No one's done it, and most likely no one can. One of the very best riders in the world. Huge 720 and finally falls. Doesn't stick the landing on this one. Joe Atkinson has been a regular in the FIS World Series these last few years, winning a lot of contests and most likely making it to the podium every time. Big 900, yes. 12 seconds to go for Joe. Go Joe, go. Yes, let's see it, my boy.
Come on, Joe. Joe, last trick in the book right here. Does he have time for it? It's going to be past the buzzer. This one is just going to be for the crowd. If he does anything, he's going for the wall. Oh, he's looking to get up there. I saw him trying that previously as well in practice today. I think he's just trying to get some work in to see if he is able to get the speed to get on top of that massive
yeah, remember
right
Yelle was able to go all the way up, so let's see if Joe can get it on the second run. A miss that will cost him a lot of points as well. We saw it for quite a few contenders, as I was just saying, on this first run. But remember, it's the best of those two runs that will count, so lots of pressure on those players to rank high for a chance to qualify for Sunday's finals. We'll see 2, 3, 4 really amazing riders give it all for the second runs. And we're going back to the top of the list while we wait for Joe's score on this first run.
Waiting to see if Joe's able to match or beat the heavy score coming in. No, he is not. It's going to be good enough for 11th place. 63.50. Our FIS World Series leader is currently now just outside of the top 10. With these amazing athletes ready to go for their second run, our third heat is starting off again with Julien Cadeau from France.
Let's see what the Parisian rider has in store for us. Huge 360 flat spin, followed by huge air. Oh, he almost hits flat bottom, but he's still standing, he's still on his feet and still going. Alley-oop topside acid on top and going back down with a true Mizu on top of the wall right there. No one's been that technical on it. Fishbane on top of this wall, hitting all the biggest obstacles with technical tricks. Zero spin, backside Savannah on this transfer quarter pipe. That's a really, really good run for Julien. same thing. Bio transfer, Misty Flip transfer, sorry, is mixing it up, is going sideways using the course in a run that only he has been able to put together. 450 on the hip, and that's it, right on the buzzer. Really, really strong run for Julien. Probably a really good way to finish for him and gain full confidence for the finals on Sunday. Yeah, you can see the smile. Everybody knows that's the run of a champion. And as a former, I believe, 2 times World Series champion, Julien Kudo definitely has what it takes to win here again. Bio 5 transfer is really going crazy on the second run, and boom! He is now standing in first place with 76 points, 3 points higher than Mr. Yuto Goto, who's now in second place. Julien Kudo, first position.
And this is the next rider up, currently ranked in 12th position, Anthony Avella, one of the top French riders out here.
Right on the razor's edge, 540 transfer.
That one surprises me each time. I keep thinking that he's going for the backside of that spine landing, but ends up going on the front lip side.
And you have to be precise also, like changing the lineup and going sideways on this one. If you're not precise on the landing and if you miss the transition, you're losing a lot of speed and putting the rest of your line at risk. So to be able to keep it going like Anthony with his big 360 on the front box, you have to be not only able to go big, you have to be precise. Again, one of those key factors that will definitely have a huge impact on the score of the judges. 4 seconds to go. And 540 transfer to finish it up. That's it, right on the buzzer with Mr. Avella. Still going, still going. Wow, so that was a really nice one. Big smile, L'Ancien. He really gave it all on the second run. So I hope it shows and bumps him on top of the list. Rocking those Salomon boots. True OG. One of the oldest competitors on the scene. Definitely one of the French legends who left his mark on the competition scene. Boom. Yeah, you're right. It's such a weird way to hit up the transition. Only the very best are able to keep it going after that, and he is still going strong. That's it, second run for Anthony Avella, second and final run for today's semi-finals. Most likely qualifying for the finals. Yes, he bumps to the 9th place with 65.8. 65.83 for Anthony Avella. You will see him again go crazy on Sunday. And now moving up to Mr. Nicolas Servi.
Nicolas Servi, who came out with a jam-packed run that really blew you out of the water, didn't he, Freddie?
He definitely surprised me. You might know you're gonna be surprised, doesn't prevent you from being surprised. And that's it, going in, charging, back down, drop down 360. Big wall ride, still all the speed in the world. Look at him charging through the course. 450 topsoul. Amazing, still going strong. The most technical grinds and the biggest spins. Whoa, flying all over the volcano, clean this time. Bio 5 and still going. So right, he missed it. He's got the monkey drop on this one, still smiling. Bio 5 landing right on top of this wall. Hitting the cradle. And that seems to be it. Last seconds for Nicolas' run. I do believe he made enough to impress the judges and stay on top of the rankings. Definitely laced lots of tricks. You can see the spin. Then he's had a couple hiccups as well. Not the perfect run for Nico, but definitely enough to qualify for Sunday. And you better believe that he will be here to blow your minds again on Sunday. Look at him flying over the volcano. No, he still has space. He could still fly a couple more kilometers. if Red Bull gives him a wing, he definitely had a couple before getting on the scores. 71.5. We stick with the first score. Didn't improve on that one. Couple miss that will cost him a little bit of power. And now we're going back to Switzerland. Where's Mr. Maxime Genot?
Maxime Genot had a solid first run, but some big slip-ups. He knows he can clean up and step up his position, that is for sure.
But look at him still going and still flying. This big.
I love that line right there.
Yeah, that's a BMX line if there's one. He's really flying over the course.
Goal. Yes, and getting the full channel with that grind all the way across.
Yes, that was a big one. That cost him his first run, but that was a gigantic trick, and he does it perfectly, crossing over from one quarter pipe to the other through this 450 frontside full torque. That's a really amazing run he's performed so far. Really clean, technical grind. Whoa! In the Royale, to Royale on the edge of the quarter pipe. Finishing off with a nice little surprise. Creative trick, really tricky to actually get all the way down. He performed an amazing run. You can look at the smiles. Everyone's impressed with this one, and I am.
Oh, he was ecstatic with that as well. You can see how happy Maxime is getting that one off his chest. Right now, the score to beat we see right there, Julien Coudeau with the 76 as he pushed out Yuto Goto into second place. Third place right now is Daibi Daiko from France sitting in with the 71.66. Let's take a look at some of these highlights and massive amplitude.
Massive is the perfect way to describe Maxime's first one.
Absolutely love that. That's one of the nicest lines I have personally picked out from all the competition today. Beautiful, getting that whole entire coping slide channel to channel. Maxime Genot waiting for the score to come in, and it's good enough for second place. A 73.33. Maxime Genot has solidified a spot into the finals, but as well right now sitting in a golden position.
Yes, he's got to be a strong contender. This line was definitely one of the nicest runs, as you mentioned, like best use of the park we've seen all day. Then he maybe wasn't as technical as Julien to grab the first position, but that was clean and flying high. But talking about high flyers, another flying Dutchman with Sam Croft, currently standing second in the world rankings and going with his second run.
Sam Croft.
Flying on the wall ride, still going really fast. As you mentioned, the park is huge and the speed is going to be one of the things that one has to be able to manage. Keep the speed all the way through to be able to connect all your tricks with the flow. And that's it, 5. He missed the alley-oop point. Did the alley-oop top point, he missed on the first one, but did manage to do the full technical line he wanted to. Still really strong, still standing. Neal 360 and fakie 5 on the fun box to finish things off. That was as much nicer as the first run, but might not be enough to bump him in the top positions. Really good, not totally satisfied. As I said, there's a couple things that he can clean up for the second one. The alley-oop top point on the wall that he wants to connect then with the alley-oop point transfer on this transition sideways. Really technical part of the course and a really technical move he wants to connect. So that might be the difference that bumps him in a higher score for the next one. But now we're back with the last man standing, the last guy today to run.
I don't think that clothing was making him feel comfortable. He's gotten a little loose out there. Joe Atkinson, FWS World Series leader and on course.
Nice transfer from the cradle to this quarter pipe and going really crazy. It was a nice run. No one's been skating the course like him. 720, he sticks it this time, running on the wall ride, still going full speed. Backside UFO and hitting up the fun box with a 9 again, real clean, hand touch down a little bit, but that won't be enough to stop him. He's still going strong, going fast. Bio-5 transfer. Still going, 10 seconds to go. One of the best runs we've seen all day. And he doesn't make it, but he saves it. Look at him, Ryan. Look at him.
Hey, Joe, man.
Oh, that was, at least we're talking about surprise and a nice little excitement. That was definitely one of the exciting runs that we wanted to see. Mr. Joe Atkinson, always an amazing contender for this contest.
Thank you. We want to thank you so much.
So there we go, some amazing skating from Joe Atkinson. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights right there. Joe is our current FIS World Series leader. He's trying to hold on to his points for the overall ranking, but as well get on top of the box here and on top of that wall specifically. Not quite getting the speed for it. Freddie, how do you feel about this last run?
I feel really good about the last run. It didn't do the last trick, but all throughout it was a really amazing line. And as I mentioned, like the park offers lots of possibilities, and all the final runs from all these guys were really diverse. We didn't see the same run twice, and that's what I'm the most happy about, I guess. Seeing the diversity and the versatility. I'm still not sure. I got this.
Versatility. You're on there. We got the words coming in. And we're going to wait for the scores to come in. There you go. These are the overalls right now. Joe Atkinson is going to be sitting in 4th place, so not good enough to rival Julien Cadeau. But at the end of the day, Julien is on top of the board. Swiss rider Maxime Genot in 2nd place there, and Yuto Goto in 3rd place with a 73 even.
That's a really amazing ranking. We might have missed a couple names, but I think what's the most important to know today is the variety of skaters we get to see. The top 5 is really diverse, lots of different countries represented.
We're going to have Julien Cadeau, Maxime Genot, Yuto Goto, Joe Atkinson, Daibi Daiko, Nicolas Servi, Yaro Frein, Jakob Buell, Jerasak Tassorn, and
Wapuj Bunim.
Yes, and Sam Croft and Anthony Avella rounding up the top 12. So those are going to be your finalists out there skating for us tomorrow. That means Julien Cadeau is going to be your overall winner for the semifinals out here today.
Indeed.
Just some amazing skating from all the competitors out there today. We've been super excited and blessed with all the weather out here in China. How did you feel about the last contest we just saw?
First, it's nice to see the sun, and second, like this contest today was really amazing. As I mentioned, like the top 5 runs were really diverse. Like the top 10 riders actually all have different runs, they have different tricks, and it's great to have a course that's giving them a chance to showcase their variety as well, to show what makes them special and to bring this element of surprise that I talked about today.
So we have a jam-packed heat of things going on for tomorrow as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We have a lot of things going. It's going to be MTB, BMX, as well as a skateboard finals. Thanks so much for tuning in here for the semifinals. On behalf of myself, Ryan Meyer, Freddie White, and the FIS World Series, tune in tomorrow.
Hi. Did not do anything short of deliver one spectacular final.
Who is going to be crowned World Cup champ?
He needs to get perfection. He needs to get first place. It all comes down to this moment. Real question right now, who is on top?
Des restos.